But we would play tennis, and he wasn't that good.
I'm listening.
Wow.
Sorry.
What flavor is that?
That was black and underwear.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes.
What a pitch. I noticed my sound monitors kind of went, wow. Do you need some wipes? Do you need some Kimby wipes?
I might need a wipe, yeah.
A sponge cake or something?
I need one of those hobos to squeegee my asshole. I'll give him a buck.
You're riding down the Harland Highway.
All right, hold tight on the Harland Highway Show.
Harland Williams.
Should warn you, I'm wildly hungover.
Oh, good.
I stayed at the store till 5:30 last night.
No way.
So I might have to wear the shades because I'm hurting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, any kind of light is burning in my brain.
Oh, wow. They look kind of cool, though.
But I'll be all right.
You ever see that Mad Magazine Spy versus Spy?
Love Spy versus Spy.
You look like the black one.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you're white, which is weird.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll help me get work. Everything I pitch, I like the show, but could you be black?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Like, oh,
man.
I'll do a reverse Dolezal.
Do you wish you were black? You've got a black name.
Do I?
No, I just wanted to see what you'd say.
Tyrone, Leroy, I don't think so.
Yeah, Mark Normand.
That's a really honky, boring, queefy name there.
I like Normand, though.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It reminds me of, and you probably heard this a million times, Normand. Come and give mommy, in Psycho, Norman Bates.
Oh, Norman Bates.
And his mother, who was a corpse in a wheelchair, and I guess in essence was him, right?
Yes, that's right.
But he'd do her voice and go, Norman, bring me my milk and cookies, Norman. And then when you had a D on yours.
You got that right.
And so you're like psychoid,
Ooh, psychoid.
Norman. So now whenever you say your name, you can picture yourself as an old lady in a dress with a wrinkled face if you want. I'm just offering stuff,
I don't think I will, but I like where your head's at.
You like that I offer stuff?
Sure, and I like that you wear your own merch. That's cool, too. What is that, a 40-year-old shirt you got there?
No.
Look how young and cute you were. What happened?
Here's what happened, right?
Uh-huh.
They did a sequel to Half Baked, and it just came out.
Is it just called Full Baked?
It's called, what is it called? I think it's called Half Baked 2 or something really original.
Yeah.
And so this company, Pleasures or whatever it's called, they sent me a free shirt, because I guess they're part of the reboot of Half Baked. And so I just did a cameo in the movie.
Yeah, I remember. That was a great cameo with the horse.
No, that's the original movie.
Oh, sorry. The new one, you're in a cameo.
The new one, I'm a cameo.
Got it.
Wait a minute. The first one, I was one of the stars.
Oh, that's right.
God.
That's right.
I just got reduced to a cameo.
Well, it's been a
you
while.
really are hungover.
I'm dying, man. I had it on VHS, but it's funny how much has changed. Like, Dave Chappelle's into trans. Jim Brewer went QAnon. The other guy died, and you're out of the business. So... pretty wild.
Wow. Tic-tac-dough. I just got doughed, bro.
Oh, do-re-mi.
Do you love Julie Andrews from The Sound of Music?
Yeah, and Mary Poppins.
Yeah, because I heard you say do-re-mi, and that she sang that.
That's right. A weird movie about Nazis.
Yeah.
It's like a weird musical involving Jew killers.
And children.
Yeah, right.
Get children into Glee Club and Nazi death squads.
Right.
Like, you don't get that combo anymore, do you?
No, a lot of range.
God.
Yeah, well, I can tell you with Gaza around, I think the Nazis are kind of off the hook.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit, you're right.
Not off the hook, but, we're talking about they're the new Jew haters.
You mean like off the hook?
Yeah.
Or they're off the hook?
Right. Well, they are off the hook. They do what they want. They're fucking wild.
I hear Gaza, and I just think of someone with a big Band-Aid on. Oh,
like gauze.
Yeah.
You
you did the at the end. You
gauze
went gauze and then
Gaza.
Yeah, you did. You do humor, you don't even know you're doing it. And that's when you know you're funny, Wild Fingers. Old Wild Fingers over here.
That's what my wife calls me.
Really?
No, she's dead. But
maybe crab fingers now that she's dead.
You ever see those guys with the weird crab hands?
Oh, wow. The thalidomide children, you mean? From the 60s?
I didn't know they had a name.
The flamidahide kids.
Flamidahide.
When the birth control pill
That sounds like a drug.
Yeah, when the birth control pill came out, I think it was called thalidomide.
Oh.
And the first women that took the birth control pills, it went off the rails because it'd never been done before, and the kids came out with crab pickers.
Whoa.
Like kids came out with nublins they looked like ginger root babies.
Right.
And I'm not being mean, but this is what they looked like. Like they were like children of the corn, ran into, Orville Redenbacher's lawnmower or something,
Right.
You never saw the flamidamides
I've
or whatever?
seen it, but I didn't know it was a birth control thing.
Yeah, it came from because they didn't really have the recipe down yet, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
So in the 60s, the early 60s, the flamidihides came out, and the children had like crab picker claws.
Yeah.
And their feet, too. Some of them, their feet would be crab pickers.
Wow, it's weird how it went to the phalanges,
The what?
The phalanges. That's what you call your extremities.
Oh, those are also my Italian neighbors just down the road.
Phalanges.
Make a great lasagna. But do you know anyone with crab prickers or ginger roots?
I wish. I know a couple of midgets, and they got the puffy hands. You ever see that? They're all squishy. I want to squeeze them.
The puffy hands?
Yeah, they're like squishy and soft and kind of like cushioned almost.
Like they're padded.
They're padded.
Like a panda bear.
Paddington bear. Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever got a full body massage from one of them?
No, that would take too long. Just a forearm would take an hour for them. They're so little. They could walk on you, though. Maybe that would work.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, we had Brad Williams on my pod the other day, and I shook his hand. I remember being like, oh, yeah, look at that. It's old pillow hand.
It was puffy?
It was Puffy. Puff Daddy. P. Diddy. P. Diddle.
Wow, bro, Cephalosh. So tell me, you got the glass Ozios on.
Oh, yeah.
Your eyes are you probably look like Cujo's maid right now under there. Like
Another timely reference.
Can we have a peek? Like, can we?
Oh, sure. I can take them off.
Wow, yeah.
I'm hurting.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to keep them off.
Okay.
I just wanted to peek so I could see because I don't know what your fans are like on your podcast, but mine are very curious.
I see. Sexually?
Sexually, like by Curious George down in Cleveland. There's Sarah Silverteeth over in Detroit and Carl Crunchclit down in Denver.
Boy, when you slide into being senile, that's going to be interesting. It won't be much of a change, I think. Carl Kahua, what a silver teeth, huh?
Dude, you can wear them if you want.
I'll put them on.
It's totally up to you. I just thought it might be interesting to see what it looked like to have a raging hangover because some people don't ever get them.
Do you drink anymore?
I never was a huge drinker, but I have like a few times, and I've probably been hungover a few times in my life, but probably could count on one hand.
Yeah.
But you...
Not a lobster hand.
Not a crab claw, yeah.
That's only 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I drink too much. I got a bit of a problem, but it's the fest. There's a buzz in the air.
Yeah.
The roast was last night. We're at the store. I mean, drinks
dude.
are flowing. They got that new bar there now.
What? I wish I knew. I would have come over.
Come by. We'll be there tonight as well.
Are you really?
Yeah, we'd love to have you. I'll put a word in.
At the store?
I'll get you in.
You get me in at the store? Oh, angel feathers. Tender angel feathers.
That's my gardener. You know Angel Feathers?
Oh, yeah, the gardener.
Yeah, Angel.
Oh, God, he's got the biggest bulbs in town. Now, what were you power jacking last night, guy?
I went on the vodka train.
Whoa.
Because I was with somebody, and they just got me a vodka, and I was like, oh, so then I try to stay on the same alcohol.
Oh, for the whole night.
Yeah, they say it helps the hang. When you start mixing races, it's over. I mean, drinks.
Drinks, yeah, it's over, yeah. What they call that like swamp juice or something, don't they? When you mix them, isn't that what the term is?
Oh, I don't know. There's Long Island iced tea, swamp ass.
No, but I heard when you mix any type of drinks, it's not a specific drink. It's when you mix drinks, they all collectively become swamp water or something. You've never heard that term?
I've heard of kamikaze, bukkake, but never heard of a swamp. And I'm from Louisiana.
Oh,
I'm a swamp man.
I do. Now, are you a swamp man or a bayou man?
I'm a bayou man.
Oh, see, because there's a big difference there between a swamp and a bayou now, son.
Wow, that's a pretty damn good Louisiana.
Oh, I guarantee. I better play the theme music. Ladies and gentlemen, I do guarantee now you on the Harland Highway podcast. And I usually say it in Cajun, so that was a great segue.
Really?
Yeah. The Harland Highway podcast. And we got Mark Norman here today, gang.
Ooh, I guarantee.
Oh, dude, say it. How do you say it?
Down by the bayou. Here we are, New Orleans, proud to call it home.
Oh, dude, yeah. Now, just for clarification, because this is important to me. I don't know if it is to you.
Please.
For the audience, what is the difference between a swamp and a bayou? Please.
Well, a bayou goes both ways. No, a swamp, I think, is a big marshy, kind of watery thing with trees hanging in there and cranes and alligators. And then a bayou is more of like a stream.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the bayou is the cypress tree? Is that native to the bayou, right?
That's a swamp.
Oh, that's the swamp.
Yeah, I think a bayou is part of the swamp. It's like a stream that goes in and out. Like a bayou runs through a city, but a swamp is like a huge marshland, water and life.
Have you ever been down on the bayou there, boy? Down the bayou at night with the fireflies floating around and the cicada chirping up in the cypress tree?
Many times, many night on the bayou with the gators and the crawdads and the scrimps and all that stuff.
Do you love the gators or do you prefer the straighters?
Well, I don't care for Florida. It's not my team, but yeah, I like a good gator. We eat a blackened alligator.
What?
Yeah, well,
you've eaten alligator?
Oh yeah, it's on the menu.
Where?
In New Orleans.
Come on, how often do you eat this? What do you have, like a Thanksgiving alligator? Like, how often would you eat a gator?
It's fresh meat that you can get it down there whenever you want. It's pretty good.
Well, so how often do you eat a gator?
Once a year.
So like a Thanksgiving or Christmas gator? Like, is it festive? Instead of a turkey, you stuff a gator?
No, it's all gay gator all year round and a crocodile. But yeah, it's gator, always there.
I barely know her. What? You've eaten a gator?
Oh yeah, it's down there. It's just part of the. We got gator, shrimp, crab, crawfish, you name it.
Everyone's got that, but no one ain't got no gator.
We got gator, baby. We got gator boots, and we got gator luggage. We got gator suits. We got gator meat.
Wow, what's it taste like? And please don't say chicken, swamp chicken.
No, it's more kind of gamey. It's like a
it tastes like Monopoly.
Yeah, it's got a Scrabble vibe.
What?
But no, yeah,
that is gamey.
It's pretty good. I think you'd enjoy it, but you got to blacken it. It's the only way.
Oh, everything tastes better blackened.
Yes.
You love blackened catfish?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, God, bro, can me and you go out for that later, do you think?
Let's do it, yeah.
I'd love to watch you stuff a blackened catfish in your face.
Blackened lives matter. Woo, we're having fun. This is the best day of my life.
It's the best day of your wife.
R.I.P. She'll be missed. She got eaten by a gator.
No.
Yeah.
Blackened or whitened?
Yeah.
But have you ever gone out like caught a gator, or do you just...
No, I've held a little one. You can go to a gator farm and you pay money, go on a fan boat, and then you see the gators, and they're huge. They're like 8, 12 feet long, and then you can hold the little ones because they can't hurt you yet.
You're fans of their own boats? What the F, bro?
Well, blackened, the Amistad. But...
wait, you held a little gator?
Yeah, you can do it. You can pay a couple bucks to get a photo with it. It's fun.
Do you know? I don't know if you know this, but when the gators are born, but most people, my viewers don't know this. Yours might. But gators come from an egg.
That's right.
The mother makes a giant nest, buries them.
Yes.
They incubate.
Yes.
And the little critters come out of eggs, much like prehistoric dinosaurs.
Yes.
And then you tell me if this is accurate or not, but you know where I'm ready?
Incubates Motel. Oh, sorry. Whoa, that's good. Man.
Tell them what it is.
That's a little gator. That's a baby gator.
Please elaborate for my guests.
They're little and they make a weird chirping noise because they want their mom.
Please tell.
How do you know about the gator noise? This is incredible.
Please tell them more about gators and babies.
Yeah, you're right. They're making that weird little noise and they're cute as hell. But then when they get older, they're mean cunts. Sorry for the language. But
No, they like it. They like it.
Yeah, they're the closest thing to dinosaurs we got. That and the Komodo dragon.
Oh, I've been to Komodo Island.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, they are like that. So when you land at Komodo Island.
I've been to Epstein's.
Oh, wow.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that sounds even better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, so the Komodo Island, when you land, I think there's 4 Komodo Islands, and you're only allowed on 2 of them. And when you land on the boat, they've actually, this is no lie, they built this giant archway so it looks like you're entering Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and it's tropical right away. So I was there, and I wasn't in there about like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, like up over the hill, the guide goes, look, and we turn around. Like a 15-foot-long lizard just comes lumbering over there. Their tongues are coming out. Dude,
terrifying.
And they can run. They can catch a human, and they can eat a human.
Yeah.
But it was the most prehistoric experience. They kind of got these inverted, almost like thalidomide hands.
Yeah.
And they walk like this. And this thing was just like lumbering down the hill. Matt, like imagine a lizard you've seen at a zoo. Or they're this big, this big. These things are longer than your sister's canoe.
The man in the boat.
Wow.
But yeah, and if you want to have a fun night at home alone, put Komodo dragon fighting on YouTube. They fight each other. They get up on the back legs and hit the tail, and they go nuts. It's wild. They hiss.
They hiss and they pop a wheelie. They get up and they like almost like sumo wrestlers.
Sumo.
Well, I'm straight, but thanks.
No sumo.
God.
Sumophobe.
Yeah.
But they're pretty wild. I mean, it's
Dude.
I'd like to ride one, but that.
Dude, no, you don't. Because what they have a toxic saliva, right?
Whoa.
So here's how they kill. This is how they hunt. You think, well, how does a giant lumbering lizard hunt the native deer and the wild pigs and the things? So what they do is they sort of nonchalantly kind of amble up while the hoofed mammals are eating.
Right.
And they'll just bite them on the leg.
Oh.
And you think, oh, nothing, no big deal, right?
Sure.
This toxin in their saliva is a poison, and it slowly starts to disable. And what they do is once they bite them, they'll follow this like a large water buffalo for about 6 days, and eventually gets to the point where it just can't stand, plop, and then like 12 of them come in and just rip it apart alive. Oh, they're savage. They're savage. Yeah.
That's wild. Well, how do you know so much about the Komo?
I know a lot about everything. I'm one of those guys. Like if you threw a topic at me, I'd probably have so many facts for you. You'd want to go down to 7-Eleven and throw your eyelids at a Chinese boy.
Well, they could use some eye. But let me throw a rando at you. See if you got some knowledge on this puppy. That's blowing my tits off right there. That you know what a baby gator sounds like.
Yeah.
How about the Big Dipper?
Okay, so the Big Dipper is a constellation in the fourth quadrisphere of the sky.
Jesus Christ! Why are you divorced?
Well, I'm divorced.
This is cool. You're like a magic 8-ball.
Yeah. And
That's what killed. Never mind.
Who'd they kill?
Well, I was doing a cocaine joke.
Oh, was that who killed Belushi?
There you go, the magic 8-ball.
Was that who killed Belushi?
He did a speedball, I believe, which is coke and heroin.
So he died from a lottery ticket? That speedball will get you every time.
I know.
Did he win at least, or did he at least finish scratching it before he passed?
No, I think he didn't win. Somebody got that. Maybe
God.
Jim. I think Jim got the cash.
Jim Morrison?
Jim Belushi,
Oh, yeah.
according to him.
Yeah. Dude, I hate it. I feel bad that we went off on all this reptilian talk, but it fascinates me.
Yeah, no, reptiles are the best.
Oh, God. Do you ever have a reptile dysfunction at night? Did you ever? But,
Well, there's some virgin out there really loving the snake talk.
Wow.
He's feeding a mouse right now, and really. Wait, didn't you do that in Road Trip?
what?
Was that you?
Yeah, that was my bit. No, that was Tom Green.
Oh,
you
fuck
got all
my
your
ass.
movies mixed up.
Sorry. Shit, I stink. See,
all
I'm
right.
the opposite of you. I got no knowledge. I don't know anything.
Come on.
I got nothing.
Let me throw a topic at you.
Lay it on me, fatty.
Fatty.
I mean, hit me.
Okay. How about
Harland.
How about the tigers of the Indian jungles?
Whoa.
Yeah. Anything there?
Well, that's the weird thing. We got tigers. You talk about black and alligator. They got white tiger.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're very rare.
Yeah.
But they're always on time. And yeah, I don't know much about the Indian tigers are different than the African tigers, which are different than the Japanese tigers. And then there's the LSU tigers.
Yeah, right,
and
right.
Detroit as well.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I like a cougar myself.
You do? How old?
I lost my virginity to a 55-year-old.
No way.
I was 16.
What senior's home was it?
Well, she died during COVID.
Wow.
But yeah.
So this was 2 years ago? Wow. How old are you, Billy?
No, I was 16, so apparently I'm a survivor. That's what people tell me, but it was the best night of my life.
Best night of your life.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Right now?
No, when you got scorched.
16.
16.
Yeah,
16.
Yeah, she was a reptile. Holy shit. She had some leathery skin. And
You were a reptile.
Yeah, I was.
Really? She had leathery, like that Australian been out in the sun too long skin?
Yes, like an old catcher's mitt. She had that weird neck flab,
Oh,
you know?
no. Something to grab onto while she's riding you, though.
Yes, gobble, gobble.
Holy dimwit. Wait, so I want to hear, see, I love that. I want
Lay
to
it
hear
on me.
the story of this seduction. How did this all transpire that a 16-year-old Jimmy Johns gets rolled through the oats by Granny Grumble Lips?
Well, I met this old bag on Bourbon Street, and it was Y2K.
So she had lube? Wow. Your first one and you got pegged. Wait. That woo sounded like you actually fell off of a roller coaster. Woo!
So wait, what the hell?
Yeah, tell me the story. I love this. Our fans are gonna love this.
Yeah, you had me pegged all wrong, but
No, she did.
Peg Bundy, but
Peg Bumdy.
Peg Bumpy, she had herpes, but it was Y2K, so it was 1999. It was the day before Y2K, so there was a buzz in the air, and I was on Bourbon Street with a couple friends. She was on a balcony flashing everybody.
Okay.
And she had her old weird tits, and I looked up and I said, "Hey, lady," and I think she had a thing for young guys.
Yeah,
And-
obviously.
Yeah, she came down, and I said, "I don't want to go into 2000 a virgin." She said, "Well, I won't let you," and that was it.
And what? You went up, where'd you do it?
Well, that's the weird part. We went up to her hotel room, in the
Yeah.
Ramada Hotel, room 239. I'll never forget.
Wow.
She opened the door, and there's an old guy with a white beard and a Harley Davidson hat and a leather jacket sitting in a chair staring at the door. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna die. This is it.
He was in the room.
I think it was her pimp or husband or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, so he was there when the deed happened?
Well, I had two friends with me. He took them out on the balcony, closed the doors, and they had a couple of beers out there while I plowed his old wife.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, old Yeller. I gave
She
her
was a screamer?
Yeah. Gave her rabies.
Wait a minute. So was there any like form of seduction or foreplay, or did she just kind of go, let's go? Was it like just aggressive immediately, or was there any sort of like,
No,
whoops, Billy, I spilled some grape juice on your pants. Let me rub that off for you. Like, was there any type of penthouse forum opening?
It
Like,
was more of a rape juice, but
good God,
She-
Garfield.
speaking of lasagna, I hate Mondays, but great president too.
Yeah.
But so I was in the room and I was so nervous. I
Yeah.
had a jacket on, a sweater, a button-down, jeans, and she goes, "Why don't you get more comfortable?" So I took off the jacket.
Yeah.
And then she goes, "How do you want to do this?" And I didn't know anything, so I go, "Well, I'll take a blowjob first, because I've seen movies."
Yeah.
And she goes, "I don't give blowjobs." And I was
What?
like, "You bang kids off the street, but you don't give blowjobs?" And
Yeah.
she was like, "You want to do this or not?" I was like, "All right, sorry."
She got aggressive?
Yeah, so I was blowing it immediately.
You were blowing her.
No, I was ruining the night.
Oh,
I was-
you were stepping on her like technique or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so what happened from there?
So then she said, "You have a condom?" I said, "Sure." Like every 16-year-old, I had a condom in my wallet from like the Reagan era. And
You're 16 and you owned a condo?
oh, yeah,
Dude, why'd you need her? Go back to your own place.
that's a good point.
Sorry, I stepped on that one with a bad condo joke.
I like it. I always put condiments on my hot dog. But so then she saw my condom. She said, "Get that out of here." She opened a drawer. She had lube, condoms, butt plugs, dildos, vibrators, whips.
What?
And I was like, "Oh boy, I'm in for it here."
What?
Over my head.
As a first timer, because you lost your virginity to this one, right?
Yeah.
Weren't you kind of intimidated and scared by she had a toolbox of
Terrified.
treasures?
That's what I called her puss. But I was terrified. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was freaking out. But I was like, hey, this is pre-internet. You just live, damn it.
Yeah.
So I flew by the seat of my foreskin, and
Wow.
she put a condom on me, and yeah, that was that.
And how long did it last?
It lasted a while because I was a young whippersnapper, and that's what I called her, clam, and snapper. And I think she had the husband, or he can't get it up. He was old, and I think she wanted a young buck to really, have some stamina.
So how long is how long? Like you said, a while. What was it, like 20 minutes, an hour?
I'd say it was an hour, but it was off and on. It was, we'd bang, then we'd rest, and then we'd talk about she was in the Civil War, she was talking about the old days, and then went back at it.
Wow, bro.
Pretty cool.
That's amazing. And did your buddies out on the balcony get a crack at it, or was it just you?
Well, right after I finished, I felt this wave of shame. Like, what am I doing? I'm with a weird hooker lady. She's old.
Yeah.
I'm a child. I have a boner, and I open the doors to the balcony, and my friends fall in because they're shit faced now because he was getting them drunk out there.
Yeah.
With a cooler on the balcony, and they go, "I got sloppy seconds," and then I pulled them all out. I was like, "We got to get out of here." And we
You were
ran
like,
home.
"This is my girl. Screw you guys. Fuck
Yeah,
off. You're not
exactly.
touching my girl."
No, good song. But
Yeah, thanks.
So we got the hell out of there. But I was the king of high school for a week.
Well, you told everyone?
Oh, what are you kidding? I was Ferris Bueller.
I thought you just said you felt shame.
I did, but the next day, once people start gassing you up, they're like, "Hey, that was killer. You banged that old broad."
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So you were like the guy on campus that pegged old women.
Well, no, I no pegging.
Well, I mean, like the nailed. Like I meant like
Plowed.
Yeah, plowed.
Yeah,
Power
plowed.
slam.
Yeah. So now
Thunder greased.
I got a thing for MILFs.
Are you serial?
Oh, I love cereal.
Wow.
Snap, crackle, and
Peg.
peg.
Snap, crackle, peg.
Go watch Unfrosted. It's a cereal movie.
Wow, dude, that's quite the story.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the way you wanted to lose your virginity, or did you, in your sort of adolescent, prepubescent mind, did you have a scenario where you're like, "Oh, I'll meet this great girl in my high school, and we'll go camping, or we'll be making out in the back of my parents' car"? Did you kind of have a vision of what losing your virginity would be, or was this what you wanted, do you think?
I assumed it would be a girlfriend, but I was a dweeby kook in high school. I was a little skateboard rat. I couldn't talk to women. I was nervous, so of course I didn't expect this. But once you got that hand, you got to play.
Yeah. But you didn't have a vision of it being something more traditional. You were like, whenever it happens, it'll happen.
Yes.
I don't know what, where, when, or how.
Yes.
But I bet you didn't think it would be an older woman.
Definitely not, but it was all great, and I wish she was still alive.
Oh, did you go to her funeral?
No, she was buried at sea.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sounds like she was buried at seaman the way you went at her. Wow.
From the river to the sea. But, yeah.
Wait, why was she buried at sea?
Well, she was ashy.
Wow.
Yeah,
God.
she was a C word.
Caesar salad. Dude, I love it.
C-section. Yeah, good times.
So, hey, everybody, check out my merchandise at harbling.com. Yeah, most people just slap some letters or images on a t-shirt or a hoodie, but not me. Yours truly. Guess what? I draw my own designs. At harbling.com, you can see tons of my hand-drawn t-shirts. You can either buy the original or you can buy a print. And man, oh man, wear them loud and proud. I love making these designs for you guys and keeping it personal. So check out the whole catalog. We got hoodies, we got coffee mugs, we got t-shirts, you name it, it's there at harbling.com. Get your Harland original design, wearable art at harbling.com today. And thank you for your support, and I'll just keep the groovy images coming. You get out of Cajun Town, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you go to the Big Apple.
Yes,
you
sir.
You leave the blackened gator and go to the juicy apple.
Blackened Harlem, yeah.
And do you love it? Do you love New York? Is that a tough transition for Papa Don't Preach, I'm Keeping the Baby? Or are you like loving it?
I love New York. I mean, it's got its flaws, the hobos, the stabbings, the guy jerking it on the subway, the Jews, a lot of downsides. But I like it there. I mean, I live in a shoebox with my lady, and I do comedy every night, and I can't complain.
Yeah. And have you ever pushed someone into the subway tracks? Be honest. Just be honest for once.
I've thought about it. It's right there.
It's right there.
There's no railing. You can just push a little kid and be over. That's what I call, that's my abortion.
Yeah, well, third rail Willie over here. Good. What's the worst, and this is an oddball question, but I know there's an answer.
Okay.
What's the worst piss smell you've encountered in New York? Because we've all got that one wall of piss stink.
Yes.
Is there one that stands out?
Yeah, I went to the R. Kelly concert. No, but I was a bedwetter, so I know about urine, baby.
Yeah.
You're in luck.
Yeah.
Because one time I wet the bed, and as a kid, you have to be really slick and crafty.
Yeah.
You wet the bed, and you wake up at 2 a.m, all your friends are asleep, you're covered in whiz, and you gotta go to. I learned how to use a washing machine when I was 4.
Wow.
And so one time I got pissed. I pissed myself. I took all my clothes off. I stole some of my friends' clothes. I shoved my clothes into a JanSport backpack.
Yeah.
I went home, forgot about it, found the backpack 4 months later. I opened it, was like, oh, what's in this? And it was like Hoffa's coffin. I mean, it was just brutal. It was like the Pulp Fiction suitcase.
Oh, that glow coming out of it.
Gold,
God.
golden shower. And,
Golden Corral. God.
Gold Coast.
It just stunk like it just almost knocked you over.
Yeah, that sour piss had been marinating in the New Orleans heat in a bag sealed up. And I opened it. It was like the Ark of Doom. What is it?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Another good team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Raiders.
They're good. Oh, God. That's brutal, bro.
Yeah, it was wild. So I've smelled some whiz in my day.
I was in San Diego doing a gig, and my worst one is I was literally 2.5 blocks. You see the light, you see another light, and then you're at the light, and you're walking down the sidewalk. I got about 2.5 blocks, and you can smell this wall of pee.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, it's a doorway or some homeless person peed on a wall.
Sure.
And as I got closer, someone was walking towards me, and they're kind of shuffling. And as they got closer, I saw they had rags and stuff. And it's sad, but it was a homeless person.
Yeah.
And dude, they smelled like somebody. It was, if a snowman could be made out of urinal cakes.
Whoa!
Like this fucker was like you know that Michelin tire guy?
Yes.
Picture that, but he's made out of urine cakes, and they've been soaking in a fucking hot Louisiana fucking bird bath for about 9 years.
Oh, Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. It was like really just like a wall, and I don't know how this person even lived with themselves.
I know. I think you get used to it, but sometimes you get a hobo stench, and it's almost like fascinating. The smell is like interesting. It's so pungent and weird. You can taste it.
Well, did you?
No. What am I, a sommelier? This is a 12-year hobo. No, but it was. I've smelled some rough ones in New York. And out here you get that sun-baked hobo with the shit and the piss and the cankles.
It's almost like a cobbler.
Yes,
like
beach.
It's like a Pepperidge Farm homeless person.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, bro.
I do love those Milanos.
You do? Those oval-shaped cookies?
Yeah,
Now,
Pepperidge.
this is where this is where the mastery of my podcast comes into play.
I can't wait.
And I think you're quick and sharp enough to be able to tie this together.
Oh, God, here we go.
But you said you love the Milanos.
Mm-hmm.
What are they in the same shape of as something we talked about on this pod already?
Wow. They're kind of ovally. It's almost like a bar of soap. What do we talk about? You think so? You think they're shaped like a little alligator?
The eggs.
Oh, the eggs.
The alligator eggs, guy. Are you hungover?
I am, yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I'll let it go.
Damn, I'm scrambled.
Oh, God. I want to go to Denny's.
I've gone to Mel's 3 times since I've been here.
No way.
It's right outside my hotel.
What do you get?
I mix it up. I go huevos rancheros. I get a waffle. I get a meatloaf. I get a cup of soup. I'll go nuts.
You're at the Andes Hotel?
Yeah, room 218, you big whore.
I got to tell you a hilarious story that happened.
All right.
I knew some guys that were in a band. This was in I think it was in the late 90s or the early 2000s. It could have been What room number are you?
218.
It might have been in that. No, I think we were further up.
Okay.
But we were in this room partying with this band at night. And the drummer of this band is one of the funniest guys. Like, we're in comedy, right?
Yeah.
We meet funny people here. Everyone's hilarious. This drummer, I think, to date, is one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. Like, just naturally funny. Like, it's amazing. I just sit back and my stomach hurts. I just watch this guy, right?
Is it goofy funny? Is it wordplay?
No, it's everything.
Really?
He does physical. He's clever.
Wow.
He'll go into voices. He does faces. It's just the whole package. And I never said anything to him because it would have ruined it. I never went, you should be a comedian. You're the fun. I just never said a word because I knew he'd be aware of it. So we're at the Andes Hotel where you're staying. We're in the room partying. We go out on the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
And for some reason, he's got a caveman wig on. He was just one of these random guys. He just put like random stuff on. Right?
I love him already.
Yeah, right?
Tommy Lee?
His name was Great Bob Scott. He's and by the way, probably one of the best drummers I've ever seen in my life. Like, unbelievable. I think the Rolling Stones auditioned him once when the other guy died. But so we're out on the balcony. He's got the caveman wig on, and some girls were either up above us or down below. And somehow we talked them into coming down to our room.
Oh,
there was about 8 or 9 of us, and there was like 4 of them.
Down syndrome.
Yeah, but what if they came up, though?
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
Upskirt? Yeah, what do you do if they come up?
I don't know, man.
We
just blocked ourselves. We both got blocked, bro.
Yeah.
Should we end the podcast?
No, we can do this.
Okay.
Upsy Daisy? Maybe that was her name.
I don't know, but
all right.
They come up, right? So now that this guy, this drummer, he's just like no inhibitions at all. He gets naked within about like a minute and a half. Right?
This guy's great.
He's sort of a great like shorter guy, but kind of stocky, right? He gets on the bed. The girls are like already in shock, and all the other guys we're just joking and riffing like we're doing here, just having a howl, right? Mm-hmm. Great Bob gets a cigarette, right? Lays down on the bed, rolls over backwards, so his knees are behind his ears, and his like package is hanging almost over his mouth.
Oh, wow!
His arsehole is just facing these girls who are from Cleveland or whatever.
Oh my god!
He gets the cigarette and starts smoking it with his asshole.
Wow!
He's putting it in his asshole.
Oh
like
man! He's blowing smoke out of his ass.
Dude, it was
literally. That's like a Steve-O move or something.
Dude, it was just hilarious. These girls were just, I'm sure they're traumatized to this day.
Wow, man. I hope they were Virginia Slims. You only get too big of a Marlboro Red Eye.
Oh, shit. It was the best.
Damn, that's cool. Wow. If he quits, he has to put nicotine gum in his ass.
He's got to put a patch over his arsehole. He can't poop for a year.
You know that you could die from that.
He could diarrhea from that. See, here's the thing. You're one of the master guys that just like went out.
You're the master.
Dude, but you riff it out. And I want to ask you, because this has happened to me. Uh-huh. Have you ever, because you're quick, like you watch anything on YouTube, you're just like lightning, right?
Oh, you should see me in bed.
Whoa, greased lightning.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a line, like you're at a club or whatever?
Last night.
Hello, Jerry. And as it's coming out, or maybe just after you finish it, and normally you don't care. You no apologies.
Yeah.
But was there ever one where it came out and you just went, oh fuck no. No.
All the
I
time.
shouldn't have. But was there one like in particular where you just went, oh, I shouldn't have done it?
Like too offensive?
Yeah, like just for you personally, or you knew the crowd were gonna be, because normally the crowd goes with you. They appreciate the spontaneity, right?
Yeah.
But every now and then you let one out, and even the crowd goes, whoa. Asshole. Like, was there ever one you remembered that just sort of you went, no, why did I do it? Because you can't stop it sometimes, right?
I know, of course. The faucet is on, but I do it so often.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you about one last night I did.
Oh, wow.
I did a live podcast at the Comedy Store, and there was a Jewish comedian, friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we got into the argument about Jews aren't tough.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, no, Jews can fight. And I was like, well, not on October 7th.
Whoa.
And the crowd was like, Jesus Christ, take it easy or something.
Yeah.
So that was bad. But once you dig that hole, it's hard to get out of it because they kind of hate you now. You got to like work your way back out and go, no, I'm a decent human being. I'm just joking. But I've gone too far many times.
Did you feel regret saying that line? Were you just like, you know what, this is what I do.
That's what I do.
Sometimes it comes out. I can't stop it. I'm not trying to be malicious.
Yeah, of course.
It just happened.
You know, I mean, that's what happened to Michael Richards.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
he went for it. He just he fucked up.
Well, Michael Richards did this thing where he's, I think what we do, what you do as comedians, it's more like just it's a trigger thing where tell me if this happens to you. Sometimes stuff comes out of your mouth so quickly that after you've done it, you go, where did that even come from?
Oh, totally.
Like, it's sort of amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the brain is being trained to just constantly connect things and pun and wordplay and all that.
It's insane. But I think with Michael, and I don't want to, be the spokesperson for the guy, but Michael Richards came from a real traditional improvisation background, like Second City and the Groundlings and stuff like that.
Right.
And my interpretation of that night, and I could be wrong, but I feel like when he made those comments, which, inappropriate or not, whatever you think, I don't look at them in terms of he was a racist or a guy who hated black people. I looked at it through the prism of he's an improviser. Mm-hmm. Someone yelled something at him, a theme, albeit a dark theme, a theme that dealt with a race and a very sensitive race.
Yep.
And his improvisation mind just said, okay, I'm going to go with it. That's what improvisers do. The first rule of improvisation is don't deny, right? Don't say no. Yeah, and so when I watched it, I went, because I know Michael. Like, he's not a racist fucking guy. He doesn't dislike black people, but somebody threw something at him. He made a comment. It was a little off color, but then someone said something else, and so he just kept going up those stairs or down those stairs, and before you knew it, the audience didn't necessarily understand how improv works, and I just always felt like he went down that road trying to just kind of follow his craft, and I never perceived him as a racist guy. And I don't know if the average person can grasp that, because it's such a small group of people that know the art of improvising, you know?
Yeah, well, it's a weird class to teach that.
Yeah.
I mean, he really went all in. He went to the 11.
Oh, he did, yeah.
So that's a tough one, but I think you're right, and I think he saw red. Well, he saw black. But I think he saw red and was just like, I'm saying the worst thing I can say right now.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think just because you say something doesn't mean you mean it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, but
I mean,
it's
again,
on tape, so it's fun.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but just knowing him, working with him, and just the career the guy's had, the working
He's brilliant.
Working in the entertainment industry, I never took with him being a guy that hates a race of people.
No.
But it's sort of, again, only he can know, but that my interpretation was through. It's weird when you know a craft and you look at something through that prism.
Yeah,
it can sort of change the perspective on it. Now, I'm not saying my interpretation is correct or accurate, but that's the way I saw it.
Well,
and,
it's funny you say that, because Chris Rock, a black man, said, can't a guy have a bad day? I think he made a mistake. He fucked up, and he was mad, and he said crazy shit, and he doesn't think he's a racist either. And Dave Chappelle said, that's when I knew I was 10% black and 90% comedian, because my first thought was, that N-word's having a bad set. You know, it's such a funny way to put it. But, I think you're right. It's just tough when it's on tape. We have footage of it. You know, it doesn't look good.
But see, you just said a word, too. He got mad. And that was part, in my interpretation of it, I didn't even think he got mad. I thought he was improvising. The anger was part of the act, because
you think so?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I feel like that's what it was, because it just didn't seem like it. That's what I think, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but and if I am wrong, then I'm not defending it, because no one should be racist or say anything like that.
Obviously.
But that's how kind of the prism I saw it through.
Well, let me call him right now.
Yeah, call him up. Yeah,
and,
call him.
He hates black and gator. But
he brings it right back to that delicious. It's because it's delicious.
Oh, there it is. That's good.
Put your tongue in the top of your mouth and just.
I can't do it.
No, you
that's
can't.
Why
do
you're
it.
You.
Now, don't call me Chinese names. Now, is there a couple of examples of like instantaneous like comebacks that you've done that have been like favorites, that because you probably do, like, in a year you probably do 20,000, but is there any that just you went, that one I really loved?
Yeah, thanks. It's so sad that these comebacks, when you nail it, I'll never forget, because it means the world, because they don't always happen, and when it does happen, you got to really cherish it. But one time this large black comedian was making fun of me, and I said, you look like NW8 too much, because he was fat and black, and he was kind of hip-hoppy, and that killed.
Oh, wow.
And then I think I said he looks like Bernie Mac and Cheese, and that hit.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I had a couple. That was on Kill Tony.
Was that David Lucas?
It was,
He just roasted me on Kill Tony like 3 weeks ago.
That's what he does.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So that's fun. And it's fun because I think we're so touchy with race, and everybody's so squeamish. So I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, so we'd all cut up and fuck with each other. And I think now people are like, hey, easy with the language, whatever, you're a white guy. But it's fun having a black guy to do it with because it shows it's all fun.
It's all fun,
Yeah.
It's all about intent, right?
Yes,
it's all about intent.
A lot of intents in the downtown area.
Oh yeah, those homeless intents.
Woo, man.
Wow. I call them the motor homeless now because now they've graduated out of tents. Now they're all in Winnebago, so they're like the motor homeless.
Motor home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Lucas came at me a few weeks ago. And, he's got that kind of hair, the long dreadlocks.
Yeah.
And he came at me and he made some comment. And I said, look at your hair, dude. You look like a Predator just dropped his kid off at Jenny Craig. I nailed him. I got him.
Well, he's black, so the kid's long gone. But I know that's a great one. I called him Fat Williams at one point, too. That was fun. Yeah. So, yeah, it's fun. What do you call that? Dirty dozens? Or what do you call it when you're zinging each other? There should be a word for that.
Yeah, isn't it like...
snapping back, snap back.
Yeah, or don't they call them like yo mamas or something? Something like that.
That was in the 90s. That was my whole high school and middle school was yo mama.
Yeah, it's just fun. I had one recently. I was doing a show, and some lady, I go, what do you do, ma'am? She goes, oh, I'm a radiologist. And I said, oh, AM or FM?
Yeah.
Well, that was a goodie.
That's a beauty.
I like the ones when you ever drop one, and it just keeps rolling.
Yes.
Like it's like, you go, oh, in your head, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But then the audience, they just can't stop laughing because it's
it.
so quick, it's so instantaneous, but it really worked.
Yes. I had one, this one's kind of mean, but I was getting heckled at a comedy club in Florida years ago, and the lady was huge. She was like a gigantic lady.
Yeah.
And she kept heckling me, and at one point she went, boo, and I said, are you saying boo or moo? And the house came down, she killed herself. She got diabetes. The crowd laughed. It was great.
Oh, God.
It was fun.
I love it, dude.
I love it. But you ever have the times where you're like, you nincompoop or what, and you're like, go, I had nothing.
Oh, yeah, you just hit a wall?
Yeah, but you don't seem, I feel like you're always cooking. I never really see you stumped.
Well, you know what I do is when I get stumped, I make me being stumped become the gag.
Oh, how do you do that?
So what I'll do is I'll acknowledge it. Like if someone stumps me and I can't say that, I'll just say like, well, I guess I lost it, or you didn't show up because you just fucked up my act, or you know what I mean, like. And they love it because they've watched you for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just boom, boom, boom.
Right.
It's sort of like when the Saturday Night Live actors laugh during their sketches, right?
Break.
So now you're acknowledging that you missed one.
Yes.
And if you can sort of play with it. So if you ever want to borrow that, one tip from one crankster to another, it's sort of fun to find a way to sort of turn it on yourself, and then they sort of appreciate it, and it sort of ingratiates you to them even more.
It's endearing.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
It's a vulnerable moment because they go, oh, he couldn't think of anything, and he owned it. Too.
Yeah,
it's worse if you try to fake.
Yeah,
and you can't get there, and they can see right through that.
And I got to tell you, Mark, there's something really empowering about. Really and this is something for probably the first few decades of doing stand-up, I would never do it. But when you just open up and go, I'm fucking eating it right now, folks.
Yes.
Like you tell them right to their face, like you present to them the obvious and that you're hurting. And if you open that door and open your mouth and start to let that out, then the funny will tumble out after.
Wow.
And it's really cool if you just like throw yourself on your own sword.
Yeah.
They watch you do the Harry Carey.
Yes.
And then once you're laying there moaning in agony, your brain, which we just talked about, is always in motion.
Uh-huh.
It will find a way to make that suicide funny. And
wow.
It takes a lot of courage. It took me a long time to get to that point.
Because you go against everything you're taught.
Right.
You have to go the other way. That's fascinating.
But you should try it because it's sort of exciting.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, because we're so used to everything else we do and it usually works.
Yes.
And when you have this new beat where you're kind of like drawing and quartering yourself in front of the crowd, you're so vulnerable. But it's really like inside you're like, ooh, this is because there'll always be that inevitable silent moment where they're like, oh, the guy lost it.
Yeah.
And you really did lose it.
Right.
But then all our survival instincts where you claw to the top of the
Yes.
water to breathe, they come out, and it's
Wow.
really it's a fun thing to try.
That, folks, any young that is a master class. That's a great tip. That's like top black belt level improv, riffy.
Well, I didn't mean to
jokes.
assume you've never done it, but it's something I do. But if you haven't done it, try it. And
I will, but I'm nervous because it's scary
scary.
to open up that much and be that vulnerable.
It is, but once you do it, like what you do now, you get better at it, and it's really fun because it's more unpredictable than even that other stuff.
Yes,
you know?
it's kind of like a jujitsu where you use it the other way. You flip it on them.
Yeah,
that's great. Because your Kill Tony, I was like, how does he keep coming up with this? And then when you couldn't, you'd go, well, I wish I could think of something, and that's a joke.
Yeah. You always try to find something.
Man, that was great. But this, what are you, 78?
I'm 87 next week. Yeah.
Wow. You're pretty sharp for,
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate by climbing down a gopher hole and letting them chew my face off. I don't know if you're interested in that type of thing.
I don't speak gay code, but that sounds like a hell of a time. Let's see, Norm was my hero.
Okay, yeah.
He's
Norm.
a Canuck.
He was one of my best friends.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah, me and Norm spent so much, probably more than most people.
Really?
People don't know that, but me and Norm were very close, very good friends, and we spent so much time together.
Wow. Yeah. I met him twice, and I cherish every second. I think he might have been the funniest guy of all time.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah.
I'm not saying he's the best stand-up or the best actor, but just as a human being, to be that funny and that weird and that committed to his shtick, incredible.
Yeah. Well, I told someone this a few podcasts ago because it always surprises people, but this is from Norm. He would tell me this all the time. Now,
Please.
he was quick, clever, fun, all those things you said.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the things, I hung out with him a lot, so when we were just doing our thing, playing tennis or whatever, it was just Norm, But the whole, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
That guy there, Mark Norman. Look at that guy.
Yeah.
So he would tell me all the time, he goes, Har, I'm just doing Carol O'Connor from All in the Family.
What the fuck?
I'm doing my own variation on Archie Bunker. And if you'll go back and it's like, there, Edith. Meathead. So he loved Carol O'Connor. He loved the cadence, the acting. And so Norm, I would never say steal because what he did, made it. He just loved it, and so he borrowed that sort of meathead. And if you go back and listen to it, and even look at it, even sort of the hand gestures and stuff. So
wow, that's a great nugget right there. I thought I knew everything about Norm. I've read
I
his
could tell you
book
lots of things about Norm.
I mean, we got to come back and do another podcast.
We'll have to do a Norm podcast. Yeah,
Norm and Normand.
Yeah. Norman, get the sponge cake. Mommy's feeling moist, Norman.
Oh, wow. I mean, was he... So he wasn't like that at the tennis game, you guys?
Oh, God. Norm was one of the most competitive guys.
Really?
We played all kinds of sports. People didn't know this because he's sort of a scrawny guy, but he loved to play tennis.
And he was a gamble psycho.
He was a gamble psycho, but we would play tennis, and he wasn't that good.
I'm listening.
Wow.
Sorry.
What flavor is that?
That was black and underwear.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes.
What a pitch. I noticed my sound monitors kind of went, yeah.
That was vodka.
Wow. Do you need
yeah.
some wipes? Do you need some Kimby wipes?
I might need a wipe, yeah.
A sponge cake or something?
I need one of those hobos to squeegee my asshole. I'll give him a buck.
Can you smoke a cigarette out of it?
Yeah.
When you stood up like that and you like kind of cocked your... I swear I was waiting to hear... But Norm was this crazy competitive guy, and we'd go play tennis down here in Hollywood. We'd go every freaking day.
Wow.
And then we'd go to his house. We'd eat dinner there, everything. And his wife was there, and he had a little dog. He loved his little dog. But we'd play tennis, and he wasn't that good. I'm not making fun, but he was okay.
Yep.
But I was better, and I would beat him probably 95% of the time.
Okay.
And he would always be like, we'd play for 3 hours. He'd be like, let's play again.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't fathom losing.
Right.
And I loved it. So let's go again. It's like, and I'd get him almost every time. And then we go bowling.
Whoa.
And he'd want to go, we go bowling all the time. And he'd want to play $1 for a strike and 50 cents, excuse me, for a spare.
Uh-huh.
And we go bowling. And same thing. I'd beat him about 90% of the time. And he wouldn't want to be like, let's bowl some more. And but we had the best. We had such a riot, yeah.
I'm so jealous you got that much time with him.
Oh yeah, tons of time. We went to Vegas together. We his first time, both our first times in Vegas. We played street hockey together.
Wow.
We did a lot. I was telling, I think Kevin Nealon this. In those early years when we were doing stand up together. We were just drawn to each other. We had a similar sensibility, a similar sense of humor. Mm-hmm. And we both I love Second City. He loved Saturday Night. He was like, I want to be on Saturday Night Live one day, you know?
Wow.
So we would literally, we'd excuse me, we'd go to,
you want a water here?
Yeah, I'm going to have a drink. I'm getting all emotional.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I'm prying. But,
no, I don't mind.
Okay.
It's fun. It's actually fun because Norm's gone. I think about him a lot, and it's fun to go back and think of the good memories, the fond memories. It's just sort of, I don't know, it feels good. It's nourishing,
Yeah.
And so we would go, and I found an old church basement up where we lived in Toronto, and we would go, and I got a camera and a tripod, and we would go, we'd write these sketches, and we'd sit in this basement, and we'd act out sketches together, and because he wanted to be on SNL, and I sort of more loved the stand-up, but I thought if I could do Second City, that'd be great. So I'm vowing someday I've got to find this tape. There's an old tape of me and him doing all these sketches together.
Oh, my God. We got to get this.
I got to I think I still have it, but I'm going to make an effort to find it. But anyways, lots of great memories with Norm.
I have a DM from him, and I might print it out and frame it just because it meant the world. I saw him live. He's one of the only guys I paid to see.
Yeah.
He was drinking a Coca-Cola at Caroline's, sold out. This is probably 2009.
Yeah.
And he got heckled pretty bad. And he picked up the Coke and he went, I don't know what to say. And that killed, but he just did it so well. It was kind of like what you said. He's like, I couldn't think of a line.
Right.
So he just said that he couldn't think of a line, and that was hilarious.
Well, I'll tell you this, with Norm, he probably did have a line, but somehow he, in his comical mind, probably knew that that's all he needed. Norm was very astute. Everything was very measured. And,
interesting.
Oh yeah, he was a very clever guy, very calculating.
Well, he was so clever that he knew to come off not clever.
Yeah, that's right.
He played it dumber.
Well, he did it to a fault where I got mad at him because I think he could have had a deeper, richer acting career. And I was always sort of mad at him because if you look at him in The World versus Larry Flint or whatever it's called,
he
has a little acting role where he comes off so Paul Newman-esque. He looks like Paul Newman. And the director said, look, play it very real. And Norm has a small part as a reporter. But I watched that and I went, wow, if Norm applied himself to his acting, he's got it.
Wow.
But he would do these movies, like these feature movies, the one he did with Chappelle and Artie Lang.
Yeah.
I'm the actor guy. I'm reading my lines. Like, he was sort of trying to do the anti-actor thing. Like, I'm such a bad actor, it's funny.
Yes.
And I always saw it, in my own way, I saw it as a squandered opportunity because I knew him, and I saw that glimpse of him doing so well in The World versus Larry Flint. I was like, Norm, you don't squander this. Like, you could be one of those sort of Robin Williams-esque guys who everyone knows you're funny, but there's a real actor in there that could emerge.
But I think he honed that cadence and that shtick that he had so well that if he acted too well, it might ruin that.
No, I think, honestly, as a guy who was close to him, I think he was afraid.
Interesting.
I think he was afraid. There was a barrier there where I don't know that he believed enough.
Whoa.
He knew he could be funny, but I don't know. And maybe he couldn't see it because when you're in it, sometimes you can't see it.
Yeah.
But I just know because I knew him so well that I think he was sort of using that as a protective insecurity. Look at me, I'm a bad actor, And it's like, no, dude, there's something good in there, but he never was able to reach into it. And
he was almost, we can stop blowing Norm at any point. Does it turn into
no, I don't mind.
Okay. So there was two things. There's a video of him. He was almost too smart for his own good. Like, he was smarter than everyone else, so he would say the fact, and people would get mad or offended. And he's like, well, I'm just saying what is.
Yeah.
And there's a clip of him on the radio, and he's talking about how black people are poor. And this woman is like, oh, my God, you're so racist. What the hell is wrong with you? Why would you say that? And these black callers call in. They go, yeah, he's right. And he's like, you see? Like, stop telling me I'm wrong just because you're offended.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
It's amazing.
I think someone actually called in with actual statistics.
Yes.
Yeah.
His other one is he's somewhere on a comedy stage and he's getting heckled. He's shitting on teachers. He's like, teachers are heroes. I never saw a teacher go into a burning building and pull a guy out. And a teacher's like starting to heckle him. And he's like, lady, you're just the tallest person in the room. And he's just killing her with these jokes about how teachers aren't that great. Yeah. And it's pretty magical.
Well, one of my favorites, unfortunately, it wasn't one of his jokes, but he had heard it from someone. I forget who he heard it from, but I always loved this one. He told it to me once, and we were talking about, like, girls loving funny guys. He goes, you always hear girls saying they love a guy with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, but when was the last time you saw someone crawling across Brad Pitt to get to Shemp?
See, Shemp's a funny word.
Yeah, it wasn't his joke, but it was so appropriate that he knew that joke from somewhere because it was hilarious. It was in his wheelhouse. So he would hold on to stuff that was in his wheelhouse,
Yeah, and he went hard on the lady comics too.
Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of he was one of those who openly said, I don't think women are funny. You know?
He's like, well, Sarah Silverman, so who's funnier than her except for every dude. That was one of his lines.
Yeah, he was open about that,
Yeah.
But he also, I'm not defending what he said, but he started in the early 80s when there really wasn't many women comics.
No.
There was only about like 10 maybe.
Yep.
And so they were still sort of an anomaly. And I think to some men, they felt threatened that, hey, this is a boys' club. What are you coming in for? Women aren't funny. And I just think maybe he was never able to let go of that.
Interesting. But I think you're right.
Yeah.
But there's old Ellen, like 80s Ellen was
hilarious.
Great.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Great material.
Oh, yeah. Joan Rivers. Phyllis Diller.
Yes.
I think Norm just sort of said that stuff without really thinking it through.
Yeah.
Because I think he would have acknowledged like Phyllis Diller and people like that were really funny. But last note about comedy coming back to you.
Bring it back, baby.
Has there ever been a comic who's personally said something mean to you, like that maybe they didn't like what you did or don't like your style or just like, and this could have been when you were starting or now, it could have been yesterday, it could have been 10 years ago, but did you ever have a guy just come right up and go, hey dude, blah 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 blah?
I've had a lot of that.
You have. Is there one that really stuck out the most that hurt you, and how did you respond to it?
Well, I got a weird shitty voice, and I
was gonna say right at the beginning, but I didn't want to.
Yeah. And this guy who was comic was way above me, and he was really funny, and I looked up to him, and he was pretty much in a blackout. He's since quit comedy and drinking. He was a real mean guy.
Ooh.
And he came up, and he was like, dude, you got to your voice, you got to quit. Your voice is so bad that you're never going to make it. And I was like 2 years in. I was like, I guess that's it.
And this was a guy you looked up to.
Yeah, well, he was a bigger, more established comedian who'd been on TV and everything. And I was like, well, he knows more than me, and I do sound like a douche, so maybe he's got something here. So I would go up and go, how you doing, everybody? I would try to sound like Elvis or something in my first few years. Yeah, just to not sound like me.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of weird advice, a lot of weird, like, you should do this. Stop doing that.
Yeah. So. Well, the irony is that, people with unique traits, like a unique voice, actually, in the long run, tend to do really well because they stand out.
Yes.
It's just your material and your ability stands out on its own, but you you slap. I'll just call it a unique voice, and it adds to the whole package, and it makes it different and great and fun. It's so good for you.
All right, yeah, I'm over it now, but
yeah.
In those early days, you're so impressionable. And how about this? This is a wacky one.
Oh, here we go.
There was a real comedy bully when I started. He was a cool guy, funny guy. He knew all the big celebrity comics, and I was a New York nerd, open micer. And he was like, "You suck. You're a hack. You're a hack." And I was like, "Man, why does this guy hate me?" You know those things where you're in the shower, like, "Oh, I hope that guy's not at the show tonight. I got to see that guy. He's so mean." And he was always mean to me. And 10 years go by. He wrote me a long email, like 4 pages long, and he was like, "I'm so sorry. I've gotten sober. I had a huge coke problem and a drinking problem. I was threatened by you. You moved to New York. You had material. You had an annoying voice, and I just hated you, and it bothered me, and I took it out on you, and I've grown, and I'm sorry."
Oh, wow.
So you never know.
Yeah, that's good. I thought you were going to tell me he wrote you and said, "I still love your underarms," because you did this whole thing. I was in the shower, and I didn't really understand why.
Yeah, so I get my thinking done in the shower.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
well, good. I'm glad he made amends, and that's nice when people kind of step up and realize it is funny when older, more established comics get threatened by the new guys coming in. We don't have time for it today, but I have a few stories where that happened to me.
I would love to hear it. Who was mean to you? Cosby? Matt Rife?
I could. Matt was Matt Rife. No,
yeah. Well, you guys are both hot guys.
Well, I am. But it was back. There's this guy in Canada. He was like the top comedian when I started. It was this guy named, I won't hold his name back. His name was Mike Macdonald.
Oh, I know. I've heard of him. I don't know him.
And he was the top dog when I started in the early 80s.
He was big.
But he could be cantankerous. He could be intimidating. He was one of those guys that he knew he was the king. And so and he did more traditional stand-up, kind of that traditional early 80s, like premise, writing. I'll kind of like Seinfeld. Let's say CDs.
Yes.
I'll write a 7-minute bit on CDs and it'll just keep building. And it was great. He was a great craftsman, blah, blah, blah. And then I showed up at the club. We only had one club in Toronto. And I was going up with no shirt on.
Yeah.
I was bringing props. I was making sound effects. I was screaming. I was running all over the place. But I also had really well-crafted jokes, and I could deliver. But it was a new thing that I could tell, and it just frazzled them. And so I went to do the Montreal Festival one year, and I did a set. And afterwards, they have these parties for all the comedians. And I'm at the party, and I see him on the other side of the room. And he comes all the way over. Like, I see him beeline to me, and he walks up to me, and he just goes, "Hey, man, I heard you had a horrible set." And I looked at him, and I just go, "Yeah, well, I just booked Letterman."
Oh!
And his face, he didn't even have a response. Like, his face melted.
I love it.
And he just turned and walked away. And I wasn't trying to be mean. I wasn't trying to be a douche, but I was like, enough with this guy. Because I'd heard him, kind of get in other guys' faces. Now, later in life, we ended up doing some shows together, and I got to know him better and understood. He was on some medications and stuff. And
interesting.
So I don't think it was all just organic that he was, like that with people.
Yeah.
But I got to know him, and in the end, he got really sick, and I ended up sending him money to help him and stuff like. I had love in my heart for him because I realized, some guys are just insecure and threatened, and I could tell by the end that he actually respected and liked me. But during that time when you're finding that out, it can be, some guys, for whatever reason, they don't want to be knocked off the totem pole or they don't want to share the totem pole. Because I was never looking to knock anyone on.
No,
I just wanted to do my thing.
Oh, yeah, I just want to tell jokes.
That's it.
And then all this drama gets weaved in, and you're like, how the hell did we get here? I'm just trying to talk about my dick on stage.
Jesus Christy and the Seven Elves.
Sorry, Chris Christie. He's a big elf.
Chris Christie.
But we had an eclipse because of him. Yeah. But it's sad, but it's always internal. Whenever you have this guy or gal coming at you and you're like, what did I do? What am I doing wrong? Everybody hates me. It's always them. Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
I didn't,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know that then. I was a youngster.
Well, do you know this? At the end of our show, we do one final segment.
Okay.
And I think you'll enjoy it. Everyone loves it. It's called Words from a Wooden Shoe.
Ooh.
And this is an authentic Dutch clog, Mark.
Wow.
And there's words inside. You reach inside, pull out the word, and see if it invokes a memory or a story from your journey, whether it's your story or someone you met along the way.
Okay.
That you can share with our audience of 12 people.
Wow. All right. We'll do a clog post. Okay. Look at that.
What is it, guy?
Whoa!
Oh, no.
This is crazy because we talked about this earlier.
What is it?
It's the Seven Dwarves, old puffy hands.
And I just said the 7 elves just
That's
now.
right. Holy.
Wait, what does it say?
Small world.
What's it say?
Seven Dwarves.
Oh, wow. Is there some kind of story or any type of memory that comes from...
No, I mean, I know a couple of midge, and my thing with midgets is we always talk about like trans bathrooms. You know, hey, we got to help the trans people. I'm like, what about the midge? The toilet's 3 feet high, and their feet are dangling, and what about their problems?
Wow.
So I'm pro midge.
Are there trans midges?
Ooh,
Like, are there, like,
good question.
Can there be?
Yeah.
Is there enough there to do the cutting? And
Yeah.
is there enough there to move the meat around?
Yeah. Well, at least you get the heels, maybe. You know, you get a little height when you go trans. But yeah, I never.
Have you ever had experience with a midge? Like
No.
You ever made love to one down in New Orleans?
I would love to make love to a little Cajun dwarf. but
Really?
No, I mean they can blow you standing. You know, they got a big head.
You could probably walk with them while they're doing it. Like put their feet on your feet.
Yeah.
And walk and blow, I call it.
Walk and blow.
Wow.
And you could do a 69 holding them.
Oh, yeah.
Walking 69.
We call that the pinwheel where I come from. The burning school.
Yeah, it might actually be a 37.
Wow.
You know, we cut it in half. Yeah. Wow. All right. This has been brought to you by the little people of America.
Well, Mark,
I want to thank the little people.
before we go, please tell the folks where they can, if you have a special coming out, if you have a tour schedule online, your social media, everything.
Sure.
Let us know what you're up to, guy.
Well, I've been writing new material for Michael Richards, and MarkNormanComedy.com. I have a podcast called Tuesdays with Stories and a podcast called We Might Be Drunk, which I think you're doing when you come out to
couple
the
of
Big
weeks.
Apple.
Yeah,
Hell
thank
yeah.
you.
We'll cut it up.
Yeah.
And then, then other than that, I'll be at the Trans Midget Convention, and we'll see how that goes.
And what will be happening there? I think we know the answer.
A lot of transactions.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Norman, right here on the Holland Highway Podcast. Woo! Buddy, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's an honor. I'm a huge fan, and to riff with you is very exciting. When you die, I'm really going to remember this.
Will you riff on my grave?
I will. You got it.
What a friend. Folks, that's it for today. Until next time, chicken chow mein, baby. Why were you pointing?
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, no one's ever done that. I do, but you did it too.
I was trying to go with you. I was trying to be a friend.
You up for a walk and blow?
Let's do it, baby. I'll walk.
You blow. Wait, what?
Hey everybody, how would you like your very own personal video message from me, yours truly? It's your birthday, it's your anniversary, it's your graduation, or you just want me to make you laugh? You get to pick the topic you want me to discuss, give me some talking points, and off we go. You can get it for yourself or get it for a friend. It's super easy and fun. Just go to the Cameo app on your phone or to cameo.com. And I record a custom video made just for you or your loved one. Your very own personalized Harland.